All right. What's up, everybody? So look, man, let's get right into it. I was looking at Brian Norman Jr. and a lot of his training. There's been a lot of clips of him working on his footwork, on his speed, on his jab. Norman Jr. He seems extremely confident, right? And I don't blame him, bro. I know a lot of people are. I'm not even too sure who the favorite is for this fight, but I'm thinking it might be Devin Haney, right? A lot of people are probably thinking that Devin Haney's gonna win this fight. But there's a lot of things that I was thinking about when it comes to this fight, right? And Devin Haney. If you really stop and think about what he's done in the sport of boxing and, his opponents, the people that he's fought, how many of those guys can you really give credit to Devin Haney for beating? You know what I'm saying? Or or what I'm trying to say is, bro, like how many of those fights were actually even fights? Like most of those fights were mismatches, right? Because of the fact that Devin Haney was way bigger than most of his opponents. This has pretty much always been the case with Devin Haney. You know what I'm saying? When it came to Loma, I'll forever be out here telling people that Loma got robbed in that fight. And Loma was way smaller than Devin Haney. But at the end of the day, bro, when you try to stack up Devin Haney to his opponents and really see like, hey man, who did he fight that was really his size, right? It was pretty much only Ryan Garcia, wasn't it? And that's one of the reasons why I had picked Ryan Garcia to beat Devin Haney. Because I was telling you guys like, hey, Devin Haney has never fought nobody his size, bro. His weight advantage always had a lot to do with him beating all of his opponents. So when it comes to Devin Haney fighting people his own size, it was pretty much only Ryan Garcia, right? And we all saw what happened with that shit. And now when it comes to Norman Jr., Devin Haney coming up to more of a weight class that suits him instead of him sucking himself down to make those smaller weight classes. He's going to be fighting a very dangerous fighter in Norman Jr., right? I know a lot of people are out here just saying like, oh, Norman Jr., he's just a puncher. He don't got no skill. But what I've been seeing in his workouts, bro, he's got footwork, man. This guy's got some skill, bro. I think people are sleeping on that aspect of Norman Jr. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people are thinking that probably Devin Haney is just going to be too technical for him and this and that. But I don't know, bro. Norman Jr.'s footwork looks very, very swift, bro. It looks quick. It looks speedy. It looks like he's working on cutting off the ring. And why is this, bro? Because I think he probably knows that Devin Haney's probably going to be running in this fight. And that's also something that I want to talk about. Devin Haney, look, I'll keep it real with you guys, right? You guys know me, bro. I don't rock with Devin Haney. But I will give him props for taking this fight. You know what I'm saying? I've been calling on Devin Haney to do this shit, to jump up to a weight class that more suits him, right? And take on a tough fighter in that weight class. And I think this is exactly what he's doing, right? Him taking on this fight with Norman Jr., bro, I don't know what they were thinking. Not that I don't know what they were thinking, bro. I just think that they kind of didn't have any other choice but to take on a Norman Jr. They try to make the fight with Teofimo. That shit didn't go through. So then they turned to Norman Jr., right? But like I told y'all, man, I just think that this is a huge challenge for Devin Haney, right? And like I said, I'll give him props for taking this challenge on. But I think it was a mistake, man. I think we're gonna see Norman Jr. come to fight. He's gonna come prepared. He knows that this is his moment to really make a name for himself, by beating Devin Haney. And when it comes to Devin Haney, bro, I do believe that he's gonna run in this fight, as he did in his last fight. And this is something that I think that we need to look out for when it comes to Devin Haney, right? Like, I think that it's not going to be enough for Devin Haney to get a win in this fight. That is, if Devin Haney wins this fight by running and pop shotting and doing, that boring style of fighting that he brought in his last fight. I think that Devin Haney can't do that shit, bro. Like, a win isn't enough. If you get this win over Norman Jr. with that style of fighting or running or whatever y'all want to call it, I just think, bro, you're going to sink your career further, man. What I'm trying to say is that Devin Haney needs to show us something in this fight, bro. He's got to come ready to fight, man. Win or lose, he's got to fight in this fight, bro. And he's got to show us something. He's got to show his fans whatever fans that he has left, right? Because I'm pretty sure Devin Haney has very, very little fans left. But he's got to show the boxing fans that, hey, I still have something left in me, right? It's not just about winning, bro. Like, you already took a loss regardless of if it got overturned or not. The boxing world is never going to forget that you already took a loss to Ryan Garcia. So what I'm trying to say is stop, supposedly you're right, trying to protect your O that you think that you have and that you think that it's valid, right? Because that O isn't valid anymore, bro. So when it comes to Devin Haney, bro, I would much rather see Devin Haney give us one hell of a fight and lose. Even if he loses, I would respect him much more if he were to come out here and put on one hell of a performance, one hell of a fight, instead of just running around, bro, making it a boring ass fight and getting a W, you know? I think this is what Devin Haney needs to do. And I think the boxing fans would respect him more, like I said, bro, even if he were to lose, but as long as he comes out here and puts on a great show, a great performance, you know, gives it his all, bro, really goes in there and tries to fight Norman Jr., I think that would be the correct step in him maybe getting his fans back or getting some fans or people on the side again, you know. But like I said, bro, this is going to be a very hard task against Norman Jr. because of a lot of shit that I've been seeing from Norman Jr.'s training and his camp and all that shit. He's working on his footwork. He's working on cutting off the ring. We already know he's got some power, bro. We know that Devin Haney's chin is very, very suspect. He's gotten rocked a lot of times. You know, Devin Haney needs to step it up, bro, and he needs to come and perform because, and leave it down in the comment section, right? Because this is a question for you guys. Will you guys respect if Devin Haney comes into this fight and he beats Norman Jr., but with the boring ass style, with that running shit all night, you know, would you guys respect that, bro? Or do you guys think that that's further gonna, you know, stain his career, bro, and stain his, you know, whatever Devin Haney's trying to do with his career, you know? Go ahead and leave that shit down in the comment section, bro. I'm interested to hear you guys' thoughts on that. But yeah, you know, that's pretty much it for me, man. I wanted to just come out here and talk about, you know, this Norman Jr. And Devin Haney fight because I think it is going to be a very interesting fight, man. Because why? It's going to show us what Devin Haney has left. And at the same time, it's going to show us if Norman Jr. could, you know, take that step up in his career. You know, but yeah, we also got David Benavidez versus Anthony Yarde. That's going to be the fight, of course, that we're all looking forward to, man. And I'm going to drop a separate video talking about that shit as, you know, these fights are getting closer, man. And there's a lot of things in line for David Benavidez, bro. If he could get through Anthony Yarde, there's a lot of things in line as they're talking about Zurdo Ramirez. That might be his next opponent for Cinco de Mayo of next year, as David Benavidez is pretty much trying to replace Canelo as that new Mexican superstar in the sport of boxing. So I'm going to drop a separate video for that David Benavidez versus Yarde fight. So you guys stay tuned, man. But that's pretty much it for me, you know. Go ahead and leave me a comment. Make sure to subscribe to the channel, and I'll be on to the next one, man. I'm out.